Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to write your introductory paragraph. This should be a brief review of what goes into an intro paragraph, and then how to outline your body paragraphs and start to kind of structure how you want to write this actual paper. So remember, with an intro paragraph, we want to have a hook sentence that grabs the reader's attention, and we have 4 strategies for that. We can make a bold statement, use a shocking statistic, ask a rhetorical question, or share some sort of anecdote or story. So in this hook sentence, I've decided to use a shocking statistic, and that statistic is that 96% of automobile accidents occur because of driver error. I'm trying to get you to realize, wow, we should probably try to do something about that, draw you into wanting to continue to read. After the hook sentence, you transition to the bridge or background sentences. This is where people seem to be getting stuck, but the idea is you want to kind of start to weave together a story to move me from grabbing my attention, sucking me into this information, to telling me what you're going to try and prove. So I've color-coded things here, and all of the stuff in the red is the bridge or background information. I just said, what would happen on the roads if human error were removed from the equation? This possibility is on the brink of mass market production and isn't just a science fiction dream. Very soon we could all be mere passengers in a safer car. So again, I'm trying to bridge you from that 96% shocking statistic to what I want to prove about this safer car, and that becomes my claim statement. So my claim statement is it's the same one that came off of my intro, my overview here. I just have mine up here. Okay, you have yours. If it's been approved, then just cut and paste it out of your claim statement worksheet and put it right in here. So my claim statement is that the Google self-driving car will revolutionize the driving experience in the future and should be pursued as a safer and more efficient form of travel. So I'm going to prove to you that it's going to revolutionize the driving experience, and in my paper I'm going to try to prove to you that it's going to make travel safer and more efficient. More efficient in the sense that you get to just sit and the car does all the work, and obviously safer if the car truly does remove this 96% of accidents being a result of human error. So as you can see with this introductory paragraph, it's not huge. What are there, 6 or 7 sentences in here? But the idea is that I'm trying to really encourage you to want to read about this topic. If there's anywhere in this paper that you want to make sure that your reader is engaged and drawn in, it is most definitely in the introductory paragraph. Remember, when I go to grade these, I have over 100 of them to work through. So you want to make yours somehow stand out or somehow appeal to me as the teacher and the reader, and just really try to encourage me to continue reading. I'll read it no matter what, but it's better if it's engaging. Then the next thing I ask you to do here is organize the body paragraphs. I've given you some notes, and they're definitely worth reading, that you want to go in chronological order. So start with kind of the past, the background information, history and development of your technology, then the present, and again, that's not necessarily just today, that includes the last 5 to 10-year window, and then finally address the future. Where is this going down the road? So the first step in this body paragraph asks you to have the topic or the topic sentence. I took the easy way out. I went to my original worksheet that I had turned in and kind of outlined on this, and I just pulled the very first body paragraph topic. When and why was this invented? Cut and paste it and put it right here. I could go a little bit deeper. I could take this and say the Google self-driving car has been in development since 2010. Okay, it gives me a little bit more of a time frame, and that's probably something I'm going to want to include. At this point, it has recorded over 2 million driving miles. Okay, so again, a little bit of background information. That just comes from my reading and what I've absorbed over the last couple of weeks. So the next thing you need to include in this outline is the amazing direct quote from your note cards that you're going to use in this body paragraph. So let me kind of show you how to navigate that. The first thing I want to do is I want to go into my Noodle tools and take a look at my note cards. I've got mine here. And I want to start pulling up these note cards and looking for that direct quote that I've pulled out of my research. So if I look in this pile, I've got this one note card that has this quote. They have sensors that explains how the Google self-driving car works. all I want to do, like, yep, this is the quote I want. I'm going to copy and paste it out of here. I'm going to take it, and you can see I've already done it, dump it into this direct quote box that's located here. Again, we're just taking our large amounts of information and trying to focus and whittle it down. If for some reason you don't find the perfect direct quote, something you've taken word for word out of a source and put it into your note card, now is the time to go back into the research cycle to look for the quote that's going to work for this body paragraph. You don't want to be typing this paper next week and discover, I'm missing direct quote information. I'm missing concrete evidence or material I've taken from experts and outside research to put into these body paragraphs. So this is where we kind of go back and forth between the research cycle, hopefully we have it, and the writing phase. Now is the time to go back to research if you need to do that. So I've put my direct quote here, but I'm not done. You see that the direct quote ends with the period right here. In order to do this according to MLA citation style, I need to do something called parenthetical documentation or in-text citation. If you looked up here, there's a little short video that explains what in-text citations are. This is worth watching. It's just a couple of minutes long, and I encourage you to do it. But what I need to do is I need to remove this period here. After the quote, I need to put parentheses, and I'm going to tell you exactly where I got this information from. I have some examples of what should be included in that parenthetical documentation here, but I'm going to show you how I want to do it for this quote right now. So I go back to Noodle Tools. The easiest way for me to do this is in this source information portion of the note card. It's already organized for me. So what I want to put in here is the electric automobile, the title of this article. I want my reader to know, if they want to go read more about this topic, that they could go find this information. So the electric automobile will be the first thing that shows up. I'm going to show you how that works in my Works Cited page. Going back here, when we print this off, I see it right here. And a reader could go and say, okay, I want to find out more about this article that they used for their research. They could come, they see electric automobile here, and then they could get the rest of the citation information right following that. So they could, in essence, in theory, go and find that article themselves. So I'm going to go into my note card here, my worksheet here. I'm going to write electric, whoops, it helps if you spell it right. And I put it in quotes because that's how it's on my source sheet. It's an article. I do not necessarily need a page number, although if it has a page number, and if I go look at my note card, again, sorry, excuse me while I open that up. This one does seem to have a page number, so I want to put the page number if it exists. So I go in here, I put 45, I close my parentheses, and now finally I put the period. The reason the period goes out of the direct quote and after the parentheses is because that tells the reader all of this, everything that's here is one consistent thought. So this is ending that direct quote. It's a cue to the reader that all of this goes together. And again, if the reader wants to go into your Works Cited page and find this article and find out where they could go find it if they wanted to, they would be able to find that information right here in the middle of the paragraph. I know it looks a little crazy, it feels a little disjointed to throw this information right into your paragraphs, but it is the way that you are supposed to be writing. Again, look down here at the examples. If there is an author's last name, if that happens to be what shows up in your note card in your source sheet, I'll show you an example of that. Here, if this note card happened to come from this source, I would put just the author's last name. If there is just the title of the article, that's what I put. And there I have an example in here where it's just the source with no page number. And this one, an example would come from the Washington Post. I'll show you that as I pull it down in my drop-down menu. Here's the article here. So you're really looking into this source information on your note cards to figure out and get the cue for how you're going to create your in-text citations. So that's body paragraph 1. Again, I'm not writing the whole body paragraph. I'm just really helping myself focus on what do I want to put in here. You will do it for all of the rest of your body paragraphs. So if I want to get going on body paragraph 2, I go back to my outline sheet that's already been approved. Mine are in question form. Yours may be looking a little bit different, and I put that in here. And again, if I want to add more to it, ooh, I'm noticing that this quote could work down here. So then I may say, ugh, I want to take this quote, dump it into this body, the second body paragraph, and come up with a better quote for the first body paragraph. So this is all part of the editing and revising that occurs when you're trying to become a great writer. Do not rush through this outline. This is a really important step in the process because the next step is you have the actual template to type the paper itself. So the more you put into this outline, the more organized you are, the more you kind of edit and revise as you go, the better off you'll be when we move into the actual typing of the paper phase, probably later this week.